Hello, everyone. Thank you. My name's Joe Kimberley. I'm an innovation project manager working for Colas, and my role is one of the project managers of the Live Labs program. Next slide. So what is Live Labs? Adept are a organisation that works for the Department for Transport, and they have put on a couple of programs over the last sort of 5 to 6 years. Live Labs 1 started in 2019, and this was very much about sort of smart cities using AI to try and look at corners of the service that we could impact. But Live Labs 2, well, it was born off the back of Live Labs 1. It was deemed a success. And we've managed to secure £30 million for the next round of innovation programs. Live Labs 2 is all about a sharp focus on decarbonisation. And next slide, please. It's about measuring, capturing information, and then sharing that information back out with the sector. Behaviour changes very slowly in this sector, and so that's why we can be part of the solution too. Next slide, please. So there are 7 different Live Labs that are spread over 4 themes. The first theme is about green carbon laboratories, and we've got the likes of South Gloucestershire and West Sussex. So the South Gloucestershire Live Lab is to collect grass cuttings, turn that into biomass. Any biochar that's related, we can sink that into the road. So it's very much a green print approach to highways maintenance. In the top right, you've got the corridor and place. We've got some of our other joiners from the Liverpool Live Lab and from the Wessex Live Lab. And these are about how do you decarbonise specific corridors or towns or places, and how does that approach change depending on what your scope is. We've got the East Riding Live Lab, which is very much about street lighting. This is about, can you turn off which street lightings can you turn off or down? Can you use luminous road marking paint to reduce the need for street lighting? And what impact does that have on habitats and so on? But the one I'm here to talk to you about today is the Centre of Excellence for Decarbonising Roads in the bottom left. Next slide, please. And again, sorry, thanks. So Centre of Excellence Decarbonising Roads is essentially a materials evaluation program. The purpose is essentially that if innovation happens in pockets, you get local authorities trialling materials, but they're sometimes not very good at telling anyone else about that. And they often don't follow up 5-10 years later to see how that product is performing. And sometimes the carbon evaluation isn't as full as it could be. So what we're trying to do, we've got a joint partnership between North Lanarkshire Council, Transport for West Midlands, Amy and Colas, so a private public partnership. And our job is to be a materials evaluator. Our stand is right over there. So number 63. So if you have any thoughts or questions, then do come and see us later. But essentially, we're trying to be that centralized point of information. So we will go out, we'll find materials, we'll trial and test them. We'll do as much evaluation as we can, videography, show how you do this thing, and then disseminate that back out to the sector. But moreover, we're also trying to create this community where local authorities can actually start talking to each other a bit easier. We've got some prototypes of the website, which is about to be launched in the next couple of months, and that should give you an idea of the sort of thing that's coming. But essentially, we're a consortium, so we've got academic partners doing the evaluation for us. We've got members of local authorities that do the demonstrators, and together we've got this mission to try and create this evaluation program. Next slide, please. So on screen now is the Innovation Hopper. This is where we started. We collected over 350 different innovations that are out there in the market. It's a bit of a yellow pages of what's available. We don't have the time to look into every single one of those, but the actual innovation log is available on our website. Currently, we're focusing primarily on carriageway materials, asphaltic solutions. But if you're a drainage manager, for instance, you say, I wonder what innovations there are available in drainage. You can filter by the service activity type, or you can filter by the service activity type and look at what's on the market. If you have got a study that looks into one of those innovations, send it over to us and we can amplify that for the benefit of other local authorities. So that's our starting point, and the idea was that we select as many of those as we can actually deliver demonstrators for. We deliver a trial, and then we do lots of evaluation on it. Next slide, please. So Our evaluation approach is primarily carbon-based, but we're also interested in the technical and the operational side of things. So how does it perform over time, and how easy is it to deliver? Because if we just came at this with carbon as the only lens, then people probably wouldn't listen to us or change their behavior. But when it's coupled with cost and performance, that's when people start listening. Next slide, please. So here's our landing page. It's essentially currently a collection point for resources and news articles. But what we are developing, you could probably just about see it on screen there, is the incoming knowledge bank. We've got some more slides on that later, but that's where all of our evaluations and all of the reporting that we do will be accessible for everyone to see. So if there's a new material and you're thinking, should we give that a trial? Maybe your first call could be go see if it's on CEDAR, because we might already have an evaluation for it, either carried out by ourselves or by another experienced local authority. And you should be able to go and talk to them as well and not just take our word for it. Next slide. So we've done a few programs. Just going to highlight a couple of the programs of interest. The first one was the Project Pothole Phase 1. This is something we did at both campuses, North and South. So we looked at 12 different innovative pothole materials, all with the potential to decarbonise. We did a variety of different methodologies to determine how they're going to perform over time. Potholes right next to each other, some open network, typical potholes that you might find. And we're doing a full carbon evaluation of those across the traditional scopes A1 to 5 with an understanding of longevity. So we go back every 3 months, we take a photo of the pothole. So you'll be able to see, there's an innovative solution. Let's see how it performs every 3 months. Is it still there? Is it starting to degrade? So it's about rich information that we're trying to provide back to the sector. Slide. There's another snapshot of some of the different solutions that we used. Next slide again. So the next program was into rejuvenation. You just heard Mike talking about preservation, rejuvenation, reinforcement. This is this sort of space that we're looking in. We've heard that lots of products have been trialed by themselves, but we wanted to trial them next to each other because it's important to understand how materials perform compared to each other, not just compared to a traditional solution. So we trialed Colas' Pentac, Reclamite and Rhinofelt. These are slightly different categories. They're preservers, rejuvenators and sealers, but they're all sitting in that space of early preventative maintenance. In the same way that you would maintain your boiler or you would get an MOT on your car every year, you would just wait for the engine to fall off. We have a tendency to wait till the road falls apart and then resurface. So this is about moving that curve forward. Next slide, please. So what we did in August, we had 5 different trial sites. We applied these preservers and rejuvenators. We had dead zones, control sections in between each one, and then one product versus the next. We're currently testing 110 cores from these sites to see a range of different metrics, from rheology, stiffness modulus, water sensitivity, void content, all this sort of stuff. And we're about a month away from publishing those results. So when you look at rejuvenators and preservers and you think, well, it sounds good, but I don't know if it actually works in practice, hopefully we're going to come to the table with a bit of evidence. But we're also going to connect people like Norfolk County Council up with the rest of the sector, because they've been looking at rejuvenators for 15, 20 years. So we can all learn from their experience as well. Next slide. I have got a video, but I don't think I've got time. We're about... I'm sorry, here's a video.
Across the UK, highway maintenance is a constant challenge. Roads age, budgets are tight, and reducing environmental impact is more critical than ever. That's why we've launched a series of comparative trials to explore innovative solutions that could extend pavement life while cutting costs and carbon emissions. Our trials are designed to directly compare the effectiveness of different surface treatments against untreated controlled sections, helping local highway authorities make informed decisions about long-term road maintenance. Across 4 sites in Coventry and Solihull, we evaluated the baseline condition of the pavement and then applied 3 promising treatments: Pentac, Reclamite, and Rhinofelt. By comparing these treatments with untreated sections, we can assess their real-world impact, helping to determine whether proactive maintenance is more effective than doing nothing. Each product was selected for its potential as a low-carbon treatment option. Rhinofelt is a preservative that penetrates the asphalt and forms a protected layer. It slows oxidation and water ingress, helping roads last longer while reducing the need for carbon-intensive resurfacing. Rhinofelt is applied as a spray and grit treatment that cures quickly. Pentac is a rejuvenator that forms a protective mastic, restoring lost texture depth and reducing aggregate loss. It enhances the flexibility of the asphalt binder, seals micro cracks, and helps slow aging, effectively preventing early deterioration. Reclamite is another rejuvenator that replenishes essential maltines in aged asphalt, delaying aging and preventing early-stage issues like rattling and cracking. By applying these treatments in controlled conditions, we can better understand their long-term performance.
So there's a bit more on that, but I really pushed for time. We've got a few more slides. So our testing regime is now up on the screen, and this is really trying to understand the breadth of the metrics that we're looking at and how deep we're going into these different projects, these different products. Sorry. This is all being tested with the University of Nottingham, so it's fully independent academic approach, and hopefully when the local authorities around the country see this, they'll give it some validity. Next slide, please. Because we've done that slide before in the last presentation, I'll move straight up. So here is a slide on our upcoming super sites. So we've got a major set of works coming up in a couple of weeks in North Lanarkshire, and that's a combination of binder coursework, some in-situ recycling, with a range of different surface courses from graphene-enhanced asphalt to bio-PMBs. And then in the South Campus, we've got a similar super site where we're testing 3 different binder course materials, and then the next road, 3 different surface course materials. And this is a really important space because the majority of the carbon footprint of the service is wrapped up in the resurfacing program. So if you can take big bites out of that, then you can get a long way to reaching your net zero targets. Next slide, please. I'm just going to finish up really with a quick review of our upcoming website, which is probably going to land in the next couple of months, due to be delivered by September. And essentially, this is a holding point for all of our information. It's a place for that community to start growing, so we can start getting local authorities to talk to each other about these products. I think you can see on the left, we've got a list of different products. Currently, there's some AI image development there, but there'll be real photos of real products. You'll be able to see user ratings, so local authorities will be able to sign in. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I used foam mix. I love it, 5 stars," or vice versa. And it'd be like an Amazon review system. Hopefully the better products will rise to the surface. We'll give a carbon rating formulated by our carbon analysts. We'll have a performance rating and then a cost indicator. So really the top trumps, the 4 main parts that hopefully will come into decision making for local authorities. But we'll also have a forum in this website where local authorities can come and share their experiences. If one local authority is trying to learn about rejuvenators, they can do so through our forum and speak to Norfolk, for example, and start learning about their experience there. Next slide, please. So my final slide is essentially just food for thought. Here are the areas that we are looking at. If you've got any innovations in this space or you're particularly interested in anything here, then do come and have a chat with us. We'll be here for the rest of the afternoon. But that's it from me. So thanks very much for listening.